Hi everyone, it's so nice to see you here and welcome to the first episode of Musical Monday! I hope I'll be able to post this on Monday. As you can see, I have a new addition to my background. This is a portrait made by Suitable Sinister on Instagram, and it's a portrait of me. She made of me. I'm so happy. This was done for my collab of the A to Z of Goth. I'm not sure if you saw that. It's a huge collab between a bunch of YouTubers. I will leave the link down below. And she made a portrait for every Goth YouTuber that participated on that collab, and she sent it to me. I'm so happy. This is like the first portrait I've ever received of myself, I think, at least physically. I had to frame it and show it off because I love it so much. Maybe it looks a little bit self-centered, but check her out because she's a great artist. So as I mentioned on my last video, I was thinking about doing this series of videos about music. In general, I get a lot of questions about what is the song or the music or the artists that I use for my YouTube videos and Instagram videos. I do try my best to showcase new artists or smaller bands. It doesn't make sense to me to be constantly promoting the same bands that everyone already knows. I'm guessing people that watch my content already are familiar with bands such as, Bauhaus or The Cure or Joy Division. There's really no point for me to repeat the same type of music over and over again. You already know them. If you don't, I'm sure it will be easy for you to find out about them. So it just makes sense to me to use music from smaller bands. So with that in mind, I decided that would kind of be the theme for the first episode. So I chose 10 bands that have less than 500 listeners on Spotify. I'm gonna put my earbuds in so I can listen to the music at the same time as you guys. So let's start with our top 10. I'm gonna start with the bands with the most monthly listeners. It doesn't mean it's like from my least favorite to my favorite band. It's just all about the monthly listeners. These are more within the gothic post-punk genre. Goth and post-punk are very wide genres, so I try my best to incorporate bands that sound differently. Of course, I'm not gonna put everything about the same subcategory. At number 10, with 500 monthly listeners, right in the mark, we have Rule of Thirds. This is a death rock, post-punk, goth rock band. Australia, mainly female vocals. They have very much that classic death rock feel, very haunting, echoing vocals. They only have 3 songs on Spotify for some reason, but they have more stuff, at least another demo. Unfortunately, they haven't released anything since 2013, but if you're into death rock, they're definitely worth the listen. At number 9, with 413 monthly listeners, we have Ghost Twin. They are a darkwave post-punk electronic band. Probably one of my favorites in this list. I'm honestly surprised they're not more popular. They're very upbeat. They just put me on a good mood as soon as I listen to them. I think it's just a sound that would please a lot of different people, even people that are not really into goth music or the sorts. Her voice reminds me a little bit of Goldfrapp. In 8th place with 262 monthly listeners, we have Shadows. They are a darkwave, synth pop, and shoegaze band. They are Italian, but they sing in English. They have male and female vocals, and they are pretty danceable. Like, I'm listening to them and they really make my head bop. They are a fairly recent band. Their first album was released in 2015 and they kind of remind me a little bit of the KVB. I'm gonna try and tell you like what more popular bands these smaller bands remind me of, just so you have like a reference. They're not gonna be like 100% similar, of course. In 7th place with 242 monthly listeners, we have L'Obscurité. They are a punk and darkwave band. And even though the name is French, they are Swedish, but they sing in English. It's male vocals with female back vocals, and this is by far the noisiest band in this list. Not that that's a bad thing. Lots of distortion with a little bit of screaming. This is the kind of band that will surely wake you up in the morning. So this is like music to listen when you're getting ready at 7 a.m. doing your makeup. All these bands now are very close together in terms of monthly listeners. So in number 6 it's Autoscreen with 229 monthly listeners. They are a darkwave, gothic rock and shoegaze band. They are from Belgium, but they also sing in English. This is also one of my favorites in the list, if not my favorite. Super chill and dreamy, even if it has some strong guitars. Super soft, kind of whispering vocals, male vocals. It's the type of music that I love to listen to when I'm working because it's very cool and relaxed, but it has enough strength to keep me pumped up to continue working. Even though the vocals are very different, it kind of reminds me of the Twilight Sad. It's just the type of music that my body like swings to. We're in the middle of the list. At number 5 we have Tango Mangalore. It says dark wave and minimal synth. Singer, but sings in English. It's almost like speak singing, but super emotional vocals. It has a very quick tempo, it's very upbeat. There's like a strong aquatic theme in his songs, like Dark Tales from the Sea. Apparently this guy used to be or still is a sailor, so that's kind of curious. Number 4 with 187 monthly listeners, we have Animal Bodies. This is a post-punk, minimal wave, synth-punk, EBM band. These guys are from Canada, mainly female vocals, and I get this very strong BDSM vibe from them, like the aesthetics, the lyrics, the general theme of the songs. It's very upbeat, head-bopping inducing. The beat of the song that I'm listening to right now, which is Sex Power, reminds me a lot of the beat of Sex Dwarf by Soft Cell. They'd be great to play at a fetish party. At number 3 with 82 monthly listeners, so we're getting under the 100 listeners right now, it's Grave Diggers Union. English duo, male vocals, very dark and moody, super deep vocals. It's very chill and mellow, very slow. The lyrics and the vibe is kind of depressing, but cute. Probably problematic statement. Reminds me a little bit of Ritual Owls, but a little bit moodier. Getting close to the end at number 2, 74 monthly listeners. I'm totally gonna butcher this name. Tpain, Tpain. No idea if that's how it's pronounced. They're post-punk, dark wave, cold wave, minimal synth kind of band. From Albania, but they do sing in English, which is kind of a shame because I don't think I've ever heard any band singing in Albanian. I really love listening to music in a language that I'm not familiar with. I think that's when you really know that you enjoy that music or song fully, because it speaks to you even though you don't understand it. Does that make sense? Very dark and moody. Reminds me a little bit of Tropic of Cancer. Yeah. Finally, at number 1 with 9 monthly listeners, we have Oh Well Goodbye. They're post-punk and dark wave band. This seems to be like a very recent band, so I cannot find that much information about them. There's also another band with the same name but with a comma after Oh Well, so that's kind of tricky to search for these guys. They only have 1 EP on Spotify and it was released February this year. It's very moody and chill, but it has kind of a indie rock vibe to it. I actually really liked the name and I thought it was suited for the last band on this video. And that's it. 10 undiscovered bands. I hope I was able to present you with new exciting stuff. Let me know if you knew any of the bands that I just mentioned, and I'll see you next time.